językowa ma szczególny problem ze zrozumieniem ludzi z południa Europy. Znaczy nie z południa Europy, ale z południowego sąsiedztwa Europy, bo po prostu bardzo mało mamy styczności z muzułmanami, mało mamy styczności z Arabami.
Well, what's very interesting when we talk about Germany, you can basically split it in two. So on the one hand, you have the Western Germany, where you have a tradition of intercultural relations inside of the country, a lot of foreigners living there already. And then you have the East, which was part of the Eastern Bloc, comparably to Poland. There are very few foreigners. And in these two respects, the discussion in Poland and in Eastern Germany is somehow comparable, because there are also populist parties who play those populist emotional arguments, and people forget totally of those rational arguments, which you more have in Germany.
Badania pokazują, badania ICBOS-u i OBOP-u, polskich instytucji badających opinię publiczną, że im więcej mamy styczności z obcokrajowcami, tym mamy o nich lepsze, wyższe mniemanie, bo po prostu uczymy się, że to są ludzie tacy jak my.
We consider that this crisis is essentially a refugee crisis and not a migrant one, because we want to distinguish between refugees and migrants, since migrants exist during decades in the region, and of course they create sometimes some concerns and some trouble in their relationship with countries, but they are normally accepted.
The migration from long time, the people move it from country to other country. It is good for people, for countries also. Like me, I'm not. I am living in a safe country. I didn't need money. But I came here for more openness and more education, good education for my child.
Migration and the refugee crisis has shown the limits of European integration, and especially has shown that many countries and groups of countries are not prepared to share a specific burden when they feel that it's not in their interest.
I think one way on how to deal with the migration crisis is to put a human face to it. We shouldn't only talk about facts and figures, about the numbers of people that are coming to Europe. We should really tell their stories. It's important that we get to know on why the people are coming, on why they see the need to come to Europe, to leave their houses, to leave their families and all they knew.
From now on, what we should focus on is first how we accommodate the people that have been already in Europe.
When you think about where are the refugee camps located, few years ago, 5-6 years ago, majority of them was outside the city. They were located in some kind of small villages where the local community was not hostile, but was very afraid of the changes that they were affecting the local community. And when you have a community of 500 people, and then they establish a refugee center where you have 1,000 of people, there's a huge change in the local structures.
All those subjects are relevant in terms of their accuracy, and they are also timely because these are issues we are dealing with right now.
Yes, I find the subject of the conference very interesting because it's a very pressing issue for the European Union in general. And also I find it very interesting in connection with Ukraine, because I find the problem that we have with internally replaced people in Ukraine, it reminds me the situation in the EU. Of course, it's not that of such a high scale, but I came to some very interesting ideas just hearing about the EU problem, but which probably could be introduced for Ukraine too.
Really need to develop our integration policies as quickly as possible, because we cannot afford the same failures what we did in the previous rounds of integrating migrants into our societies. I often hear these arguments that the current terrorist attacks were not committed by refugees or immigrants who came within these ways, but second or third generation people who are already EU citizens, and that's true. I mean, we have to emphasize that when we are thinking about the fear of the current EU citizens, of the newcomers, but this shows us, this gives us a mirror as well, that we failed already in the past with the integration process.
W państwach zachodniej Europy ludzie często mają styczność właśnie z muzułmanami, a my tej styczności nie mamy, więc nasz strach jest w pewnym sensie bardziej irracjonalny, bo po prostu trudno powiedzieć, żebyśmy wiedzieli, czego się boimy, bo w życiu wielu z nas w życiu nie widziało po prostu muzułmanina, czy Araba, czy kogoś spoza europejskiego kręgu kulturowego na oczy.
We cannot afford again ghettos in Europe, like even if voluntary ghettos, even if these people would like to stay within their communities, we have to open them as well and ourselves as well. So we have to combat the mistrust from the two sides of the coin and of the people, of the communities.
The one thing is how European Union as a whole, since we are all members of the European Union, how European Union as a whole has dealt with this event, which was a big event involving human people and human lives, how European Union responded to that. And the second is the future, what we should do from now on.